Good afternoon, community, friends, and everyone. Good afternoon. Listen, I'm going to give you all a few seconds to tune in. I do not own the rights to this music. I am going to give you a few seconds to tune in. I have some announcements that I would like to make as it relates to the candid, crucial community conversations that takes place every single Monday. So I'm going to give y'all some few moments to tune in. I'm telling you, this is something you don't want to miss. Share out the broadcast, invite some people to come on, say hello as you come on. I want to first welcome you to this broadcast. I actually want to first start off by just saying thank you for all of those that have tuned in every single Monday for the Candid Crucial Community Conversations, for you guys that have reached out from not just our local community, but from other states to share what you would like to hear as it relates to social equality, as well as the importance of voting and a host of other things that we have discussed in the previous Mondays. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for just being attentive during the various sessions, during those various conversations. For those speakers that have been on, from literally candidates that were running for elected office, some of our politicians, some of our advocates, some of our community advocates, some of our educators, parents, students. We have literally mental health professionals. I personally want to say thank you for all that you have shared with us throughout the previous months. And I am just excited to deliver to community the requests that you have been asking for. First, I want to say that in my previous post, I shared that we're actually going to be transitioning all of the Candid Crucial Community Conversation, previous conversations, to the Lewis-Sisco Advocate for Changing Communities page. I will tell you, last election term, I actually ran for office. We sought out change by me running for county council. And I have to tell you that when I ran, I shared previously, I didn't have any understanding of politics. I just knew that I wanted to be the change I wanted to see in my local community. So before I actually filed my candidacy, I had reached out to those candidates that were running to see if I could unofficially or officially work with them, just to be that advocate, to be that help as it relates to the change that I wanted to see in the community. So I didn't receive any feedback and that was one of the reasons why I decided to file my candidacy. However, during that process, I learned so much about what it means or what it would take in order to be an effective council or to serve as an elected official. And amongst all of the things that I learned, one of the things that I had to embrace was that there's a time commitment that I would have to put into me becoming an elected official. So I realized very quickly that advocacy was is my strong suit. So in that, we still continue to work behind the scenes. We actually started, through the leading of God, as well as with some great partners and friends, we started a community parent meetup group that was actually designed to bring businesses, to bring some of our county and city officials to those meetings, to empower community to understand that they have to be the advocate, they have to be engaged into the political process, even though they're not politicians, even though they have no desire to run. However, I say all of that to say, without fail and success, we continue our advocacy through conversations, partnerships, and mentors to increase competencies to be an effective advocate. Well, what does that mean? So before I ran for, actually filed my candidacy, I had actually got connected with some individuals that had the expert knowledge to really empower and to impart into me some of the core basic things that I needed in order to run or to build the courage to file my candidacy. And during that process, Again, I was actually running, to be honest, not to win, but I had no understanding of what how detrimental I it was for me to be running with no true intentions of winning. So, with that being said, I just decided that I want to continue to advocate, continue to go to council meetings, city and county council meetings. For those that do know, my passion is our youth. I love our youth, and I want to see our youth do well. So, with that being said, a lot of my advocacy happened at the school board. It happened at county council meetings as well. I showed up to some city council meetings to really understand the difference of the governance that the city and the county has, as well as in collaboration with the school. So what I wanted to say is this platform, Shay Lewis-Sisco, Advocate for Change in Community, is actually going to now be transformed to host all of our candid, crucial community conversations where we are committed to be unified through consistently having candid, crucial community conversations. And the vision is, again, to address those things that divides us as a community to really bring unity back into our community. So I got to tell you that I am actually going to be changing the name of this page because this isn't about Shay the Advocate, but this is about the community. So this page actually will be United 4C Strong. When we actually started our Candid Crucial Community Conversations, we just was calling it just that, Candid Crucial Community Conversations. However, we say we are united 4C strong, and that's being able to consistently be committed to having conversation, to having dialogue that's going to deal with some of those breakdowns in our bridge in order to build the bridge so that we are unified as a community and not just in Dorchester County. So I just wanted to share that so that you know where to look for the candid, crucial community conversations. So the other thing that I wanted to share, community acts. So we have a lot of different individuals that are running for the various city council election. And community wanted to know, well, I don't know some of the individuals by name, but I would really love to hear what their platform consists of, what they're all about, because I want to know, I want to vote, I want to be informed when I do cast my vote. So with that being said, we have reached out to the various individuals that are running for any elected city council office, and we have some dates. Most of you that have been tuning in on Mondays know Candid Crucial Community Conversation happens every Monday at 7:30. The issue is that 7:30 on Mondays is very conflicting with the city council meeting. For those individuals that are running for city council offices, those individuals are in city council meetings on Mondays around at 7:30. So what we've done, those individuals are running for city council, and those individuals that are running for re-election, they are present on those meetings on Monday nights. So what we've done is we've created a schedule where we are going to host, again, our candid, crucial community conversations featuring the various candidates from each ward. The reason why I'm making this announcement is because I will tell you that this particular city council election for the city of Cambridge is going to be history breaking, simply because this is probably the first election year that we've had so many people to run for office. So this is exactly why, as many times as you can, find out where and when they are going to be hosting various platforms to have these candidates featured. You want to be tuned in because we want to learn about the various individuals running for office, again, to make an informed decision when we cast our votes. Keep in mind that this platform is not intended to say, hey, I desire for, we're all supporting this one particular candidate. But this platform is merely it was created with the intention, again, to have those conversations that's going to address some of the issues that keeps division amongst us, so that we could address the division to bring the unity back into our not just local community, but even in other communities within other states and other countries as well. So, for those that are watching, for those that will catch this replay, I want to give you these specific dates. So, as I said, usually Candid Crucial Community Conversation happens every Monday, and it's very simplified because people know Monday nights at 7:30. We know Candid Crucial Community Conversations. They are, having a broadcast, and we tune in at 7:30 on Mondays. However, because of the scheduling for the city council meetings, we have changed the various dates to accommodate the individuals that are running for any of the city council elected offices. So I want you to put on your calendars, and we're also going to have a flyer that is distributed with these various dates as well. So Saturday, September the 12th, that will be a conversation that we'll be hosting all of the candidates that are running for Ward 2. So that's Paul Byers, that's LaJan Cephas, Tyzan Meekins, and Donald Sindor. So that's Saturday, September the 12th, and that is at 7:30. Monday, September the 21st, we will be having the candidates that are running for Wards 3 and 4. That is Dwayne Farrow, Gary Gordy, Dave Cannon, and Spuddy Cephas. So they will be all interviewed on the Monday, September the 21st. That is going to be at 7:30 as well. Sunday, October the 4th, we're actually going to have the candidates that are running for election for Wards 1 and 5, which consist of Tom Bradley, Brian Roach, Sharon Smith, and Chad Marcus. Even though Chad is running unopposed, we are still going to bring him on so that you all can hear from him in terms of what his platform is, what his focus issues are as it relates to our community. Sunday, October the 11th at 7:30. So the one thing that remains consistent about all of these dates is the time. For each date, the time of the broadcast will still be 7:30. So Sunday, October the 11th, we will have at 7:30 the candidates that are running for the mayor, the mayor's office. So you want to mark your calendars, tune in those dates. But the reason why I'm doing this broadcast specifically is so that if you all have questions, I really want, as we interview the various candidates for the different wards, if there are specific things in that ward that you have questions about, I want you to submit those questions to me as soon as possible, so that as we have these conversations, prior to the conversations, we can submit those questions to the candidates so that they are prepared to answer your questions. Our broadcast usually lasts about an hour, and I'm going to be very mindful of our viewers' time as well as our panelists' time. So it's going to be an hour. So if you have questions specifically to your ward, please send them to me, and they can be submitted at an email address, and that email address is united4cstrong@gmail.com. I really want you to submit those questions so that when we are having these conversations, the candidates that are running, they can answer your questions as you have submitted them. Now, I have, told the candidates that are running that there may be questions that come up during the time that we are live or during that broadcast. And if the time allots for it, we will answer those questions at that time. However, if you can submit those questions before the broadcast, that would be amazing, so that we can send those questions out to the panelists. So that is united4cstrong@gmail.com. We want you to submit those questions so that our panelists can answer those questions as we are going through the interview with each candidate. I am still awaiting a response from two of the candidates for mayor and one of the candidates from Ward 1. However, I have actually personally spoken to every other candidate that are running for an elected position for the city council, and they have agreed to those dates. So I'm just excited. Again, community asked for these interviews, and I'm excited to facilitate these conversations. I will also tell you that we also do have other moderators that will be moderating the conversation for some of these various broadcasts. So I want you all to tune in to the broadcast. These dates, I'm going to post the dates in the comments, as well as we'll have a flyer coming soon. While I am live, I do want to reverence the outcomes for the last city election that was held back in the last city election that was held. I want to definitely make mention of these statistics simply because I really want city to know exactly what we are up against, what we are seeing. So Mr. Steve Rideout, who is the current commissioner for Ward 1, he actually won the election with 145 votes from his ward. That was Ward 1, Councilman Steve Rideout. He won the election with 145 votes. Donald Sindor, who is the current city councilman for Ward 2, won the election with 50 votes. Robert Henson won the election, he is currently serving his third term for Ward 5 with 60 votes. Our mayor, Madam Victoria Jackson Stanley, won the mayor's office uncontested with 653 votes. So I just actually wanted to bring that data to you so that you know the number of votes that were submitted last election term. Also, we have Dave Cannon, who actually won last election term as well. And I don't have the number of votes. No, Dave Cannon won last election term with 151 votes, and he actually ran with Dion Banks in Ward 4, and LaShawn Foster, who is our current city commissioner for Ward 3, she won with 179 votes, and she actually ran against Frank Cook last election term. Now, as you can see, this election term, all of the wards except for Ward 5 have a number of candidates that are running for that ward. Ward 3, Dwayne Farrow and Gary Gordy are two new candidates who have not ran for city council before. Mr. Cannon, he's running for re-election for Ward 4 against Buddy Cephas. And in the second ward, we have Paul, Lejan, Tizan, who are all new candidates running for city council against Mr. Donald Sindor, who currently is sitting in the city councilman, who is currently serving on our city council now as a city commissioner for Ward 2. So I actually wanted just to share that with you all. I have been doing the live streams from my personal Facebook page, and we are going to transition. I'm going to, by the end of the weekend, try to get all of the previous broadcasts onto this page. So I invite you to invite others to join this particular page for those particular interviews, and as well as submit your questions, ward specific or city specific, for the mayor's platform, or for the mayor's the candidates that are running for mayor. Submit those questions to me and specifically say what those questions. Make sure you reference the ward if it is a specific ward question. Make sure you reference that specific ward that you are questioning about. Another announcement that I want to make, and I'll be making these announcements in the coming weeks as well, is the woman. Let me find it. So if you have questions, please comment your questions for me. I would love to hear from you. While I am live, I do want to make mention that for those that are available and they can join, there is a 48-hour tent revival that's going to be happening at River Church on Academy Street. This is for the entire Delmarva Peninsula. Join 48 hours for continuous prayer, praise, and worship, and that actually starts tonight at 9 p.m. Make sure that you wear a mask. They'll have hand sanitizer, various hand washing stations, disinfected, everything out there as well. So if you are free to join, make sure that you join if you can. If not, keep us in prayer. I am actually looking for the announcement from the Women League, the Women Voters League. So if you have any questions, please comment those questions so that we can get you some answers, or just take your feedback for upcoming broadcasts, because it's definitely needed in order to bring you conversations that you want and not just give you what we think you want. So save the date, October the 7th. Candidates that are running for Dorchester County Board of Education Districts 1, 3, and 5, October the 7th. The WHCP radio station 101.5 FM, as well as the League of Women Voters of the Miss Shore, Cambridge Association of Neighborhoods, the Dorchester Banner, the Dorchester Chamber of Commerce is hosting the candidates that are running for districts 1, 3, and 5. They're actually hosting a conversation. So what they are looking for, they're looking for the community to send questions now to lwbms.md@gmail.com. And I'm going to also post that the flyer as well as the email address. If you know other platforms that are having and hosting interviews for any of our candidates that are running for any elected office, please share them, because the more that we hear from them, the better that our constituents would be informed in order to cast their votes. So that is really all I have for you all. I am your host, Shay Speaks. I do want to say that we are seeing a lot transpire in our city, some of which, many people are not happy about, some that people are happy about. However, in order to really see and move Cambridge forward, we must be intentional about having conversation, continuously having conversation to address those things that keep us divided in order to build the bridge, to fill in that gap, to make us become as unified as we can to see the change in the city of Cambridge. This is not about one particular person. This is not about one particular organization. This is not about one particular group, but this is the unity of us all coming together to see the betterment of our city. So again, stay tuned. Like, I am excited to hear from these candidates. We have some individuals that have never ran for office, and I really, really, truly tip my hat off to them, because it is not an easy task to do, especially for those new candidates that are not privy to have name recognition where people would know your name and know the work that you have done prior to actually running for office. They don't know the businesses that you have. So I'm saying that to say, as many opportunities as you, the community, have to engage our candidates, please take advantage of those opportunities in order to get to know who is running so that you can vote very informed about who you're voting for. I am so excited that the city council election is not a partisan election. So it does not matter the political affiliation of an individual. However, you're still going to experience people having controversial conversation over if this person is a Republican or if this person is a Democrat. And I'm going to be honest, I just feel like it's time out for the political division as it relates to party lines. But let's get back to the purpose. We see a lot of people that get into politics that have a desire to be an elected official for personal gain, for personal reasons. And I'm speaking personally. I don't want to see personal politics. I want to see purposeful politicians, individuals that have a heart for community, that have a heart to move us forward as a body of community, bringing that unity, bridging the gaps. So that's exactly what I want to see. This doesn't have anything to do, again, with party affiliation. This doesn't have anything to do with culture, blacks versus whites and Hispanics and Latinos. Excuse me. But this needs to be about who can get the job done. I'm losing my voice, but that's really all I have to say. Time out for personal politics. It is really time for purposeful politics. So tune in, be on the lookout for the flyer, share out the flyer, let someone know, invite them to join this page. Again, as soon as I can figure out how to change the name, I am going to be changing the name, because this doesn't have anything to do with Shay individually, but this is advocacy to build and engage our community, to build and see unity, to be ushered back into our local community. So this is exactly why we are going to need moderators. I do a lot. I need moderators. We need help. I want to partner with some of the other organizations in order to be able to continue to have these conversations so that they could bring in their expert knowledge to share with us what their organizations are doing in order to build community. And then how can we come together, various organizations, how can we come together as one in unity to see our community thrive, to see our community move forward. So that's it. That's all, y'all. That's it. I am Shay Speaks here to just again facilitate the conversation to see us be united. For see strong. So not just organizations, but we need churches. We need we need all people to come together as one to see the good of our community to move us forward. So I hope you all have an amazing Saturday. I hope you share out this broadcast. I hope you invite someone to like the page because, again, this is not about Shay, but this is about building you bringing back the unity in our community. And for someone that would say, Shay, we've never had unity in our community, okay, well, we're going to create history and we're going to see it happen. Even in building anything, you're going to run into issues where, say, the materials that you have are not the quality that you thought. So you're going to have to, fine tooth it as you go along. However, I want to connect with people that are mature in mind that can say, we have our differences, but I refuse to allow our differences to keep us separated. And it's in our differences that we learn from one another to see the unity be ushered back into our community. So that is all I have today. Again, I am your host, Shay Speaks, and we are looking for other co-hosts. We are looking for other hosts because this is not about Shay. I cannot stress that enough. So that's exactly why I actually want to transition from my personal page to have this page, to have those conversations so that we can build the group, to have other people to host these conversations as well, to moderate these conversations. So I hope you all have an amazing Saturday. Yes, this is also different than Wow Inspired. For those that know me, know I'm an inspirational speaker, and I have another platform that's titled Wow Inspired, and that's a lot. It's spiritually driven, and this here, I want it to be a platform where we are sensitive as well as compassionate, empathetic to hear out what the differences that our fellow constituents, our fellow neighbors may have as it relates to the very thing that keeps us divided. I want to hear about it. I want to talk about it. So that's exactly why we have this platform. And for those that will and they're not afraid to support, they're not afraid to help, please reach out to me, reach out to us, United4C at gmail.com. So again, I appreciate you. For those that have already been on this page for the last 2.5 years, thank you so much. There has not been continuous activity on this page because I actually unpublished the page because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. So now that we're having continuous conversation about those candid conversations about those crucial issues, not just in Dorchester County, but in our nation, in our world that keeps us divided. This is the platform that we'll use on social media instead of my personal page. So I love you all, and I pray that you have an amazing Saturday until September the 12th, which we won't have any Candid Crucial community conversation this Monday because of the revival at the tent down at the river. However, we will resume. It will not be Saturday, but it will be Monday, September the 12th, and that's our first panel with candidates from Ward 2. Have an amazing Saturday. Take care of yourselves and each other.